about me now? Hey, Mr. Jacob, my name is Rick Riley now. Hey, Mr. Jacob, I wanna be a big star too. Who you? No, not you. Mr. Jacob, you ain't writing nothing. Hey, Mr. Jacob, that's why I started something called Mr. Jacob. I wanna be a big star too. Who you? No, cause your show's dum and you're a bum. I think it's dum. Suds too. No, just you. Mr. Jacob, won't you write about me now? Hey, Mr. Jacob, my name is Rick Riley now. Hey, Mr. Jacob, I wanna be a big star too. Who you? No, cause your show's dum and you're a bum. I think you're dum. Suds too. No, just you. Dum and you're a bum, and you're so dum.
Oh, we're on the air. Very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. The inside story of the demise of Rick and Suds at the wonderful Isle of Dreams. This and much more coming up after we check in. It is Thursday, the 16th of May, 1991. I am Steve Kane, and we're going to be here together, you and I and all of us, between now and 6 o'clock, at which time the Steve and Gary show will kick in. And speaking, make sure all these knobs are up here. Speaking of Gary Daniels, there he is.
Here I am.
He's smiling, happy face.
Half awake.
What did you sleep well last night?
I've got something with my back or something. My working out, I think. I'm getting all that extra energy used up, and now I'm not like I have too much energy yet.
Suds have not been on the wonderful Isle of Dreams all this week. Neil Rogers has, I don't know, something
There's
has
a gag rule on Neil.
Let me tell you something. Something has really happened, Neil. I remember the days when management would send him one of these ridiculous memos. You can't talk about this. He would challenge management on the air, and he'd tell them where to stick it. And these were in the days when he was exciting and vital and all that stuff. I was listening just the other day, tuned in for a second, and he was explaining how they gave him his paycheck, and he didn't want to get fired and jeopardize his salary, and that's why, while he knew what had happened with Rick and Suds, he wasn't going to give the real story on the air. Well, as usual.
Very obvious. Do you know why that is? I can tell you very plainly why.
Why is that?
That is because when Neil used to read those on-air memos, the ones that were never supposed to be read on the air, he would read them. People would say, you can't do this, Neil. He would do it. That's because there were one or two other talk outlets in town that if they got so upset with him, they would say, hey, look, I'll just take all my clients and walk across the street.
Oh.
Well, now there is no other outlet for him except right here. And guess what? There's no opening here for him.
Isn't that the truth?
So if he loses the Isle of Dreams, he has to head to points north. And he likes the warm weather.
And we all, well, not only that, we all know that Neil, well, it's not a whole lot against him. I'm like Neil in that. I wouldn't leave South Florida if I had to drive a cab.
He's walking the straight and narrow.
Anyway, we are going to make an appeal on behalf of Rick and Suds, and I'm sure a lot of you. Who did they put in there? Who's this yo-yo?
Chuck Myers. I like Chuck Myers. Chuck, excellent news guy.
He may be a news guy, but he sure ain't a talk show host, and afternoon drive has gotten even worse.
He did a great Saturday morning show. He really did. But he's not doing it any longer.
Well, we're entitled to disagree on that. But anyway, we are going to launch an appeal to Rick and Suds listeners to deluge Mike Disney at WIOD and Boy Gary with calls to reinstate, to try to save the jobs of Rick and Suds.
Save Rick and Suds, a new bumper sticker we're working on right now. Forget the whale.
SRAS. SRAS. Save Rick and Suds. SRAS. Save your ass. Something like that.
Something like that.
Here's the story, folks, that you won't hear on the wonderful Isle of Dreams, that you won't hear on the defanged Neil Rogers.
The toothless.
Evidently, after Waxy fired Greg Budell, and they went to this new thing, Mixie 106y or whatever, this cockamamie format that they're into, they threw a cocktail party for their clients.
What Waxy did for their clients?
Yeah, for their clients, to kind of explain the new format and introduce the new talent, although talent's probably not really the word you would
somehow
use.
Explain the fact that the people that they had on the air that they were selling their socks off for so many years are now trying to backpedal and say, well, of course, we were only kidding about that.
Right.
And the way to go is all music.
Exactly.
No boring talk.
Right, and to introduce their new stars that say about 15 words an hour.
Or a day, yeah.
Anyway, in the course of this, I want to make this very clear, not at the request of Rick and Suds, but one of their cronies showed up at this party, and he, under an assumed identity, pretending he belonged there, and he had a hidden tape recorder, and he went around recording different comments, one of which I won't repeat on the air, was rather...
salty?
A rather unflattering remark by one of their new superstars, one of the 15-word-an-hour superstars. Anyway, when Rick and Suds found out that this recording was available, instantly not realizing the legal implications and, what might be involved, instantly having no brains and no sense whatsoever, they got their hands on the recording and evidently edited it and played it over the air in this riotous attempt to, ridicule Waxy. And how can I say this? Waxy was not amused, nor were their attorneys. And they have threatened a major lawsuit. In fact, whether it is filed or threatened, I'm not sure. I do believe that Tom Jicka, who's going to be on Greg's show tomorrow, you all want to tune in for that, is going to have this in his column tomorrow. But we are breaking the news first. Anyway, Rick and Suds were yanked off the air by Mike Disney. Mike Disney is attempting to tell people they're on vacation and it's no big thing and they're with pay and all this, but the point is that these people, Rick and Suds, because of their on-air stupidity, because of the incredible legal suit that they have opened Cox Broadcasting up to, are presently suspended, and from what I am hearing from sources within the bowels,
within the entrails.
And believe me, there are plenty of bowels at WIOD.
And bowel movement.
Oh, yes. In fact, most of that comes out over the air.
Yes.
But from what we understand, their futures at the wonderful Isle of Dreams are in serious jeopardy. Now, I am going to do this, because I know this station has a tremendous...
Not 6 to 10 p.m.
You are really
Not
paranoid.
6 to 10 p.m.
You are really paranoid. Not to worry about that.
All right.
I mean, let's put it this way. Before I put Rick and Suds on from 6 to 10, we go dark. I mean, does that let you know?
I
will sign off at 6 o'clock. I'll say, ladies and gentlemen, since there is no other talent available on the planet with the exception of Rick and Suds, this station signs off until Craig Worthing comes on at 10 o'clock. And that'll be another great first for us in radio. Anyway, to get back to the story, the guys were yanked off the air. The thing is in litigation. Rumors are circulating that they may never return to the air. But what is that? This is what they look like? You have got to be kidding me. This is what they look like?
Seen them?
No, I've never seen them. This is... there's Alex Bennett. Boy, he's better looking than the two of these guys, that's for sure. And Alex was mucho ugly. But anyway, let's say this twerp is... Which one is Rick? The one with the beard?
Yeah.
That's Rick? God, is he ugly. And the other guy's just strangely looks like Arnold Stang.
They're not ugly. They're ordinary looking.
Well, they're not, they sound ordinary, but I guess they look ordinary too. Anyway, because we have tremendous power here, we are going to ask you in the listening audience, anybody out there who cares about Rick and Suds, and anybody who cares about the Steve Kane Show, because you know what we've said from the beginning, we want Rick and Suds on in the afternoon. If they move a credible, intelligent, articulate talk show host like Hank Goldberg into afternoons, we're going to have a battle on our hands. We want these mindless cretins to go up against, right? So if you're a Steve Kane listener, or if you're a Rick and Suds listener, we want you to call the wonderful Isle of Dreams right now. Ask for Boy Gary. Ask for Mike Disney. And I just want to burn that switchboard out saying, we want Rick and Suds back. And maybe, given the power of this show, given the power of this station, maybe we can in some way be instrumental in having these two poor hacks put back on the air where we want them and where they belong. Can we give out the number? Let's give out the number for you. Have Nick See if Nick will give us the number for the Wonderful Isle of Dreams. We'll give it out. Ask for Mike Disney. Ask for Boy Gary. Now, Boy Gary, you don't have to worry about disturbing him, because all day, all he does is stand by his computer, you know, or sit by the computer and just kind of tap things out on the computer. We've never been able to figure out what that's about, while listening to the Steve Kane Show in the afternoon, which when I ran into him at the men's room at Burton Jack's the other night. Yes. He says, you guys are doing great. I said, you listen? He says, oh, yeah, I listen all the time, okay? Boy Gary probably listening as we speak. So don't let management, you know, cover this up any longer. Just call in. We demand Rick and Suds back. We don't care how dull they are. We don't care how stupid they are. We don't care what kind of ridiculous cockamamie thing they did that put legal jeopardy on the entire station. We want Rick and Suds back. And, of course, you know the punchline of the whole story. You know one of the main reasons Mike Disney didn't want me back? Because I created too many legal problems for him. I think that's true. Is this a true story? Really? True story. But we're looking at $1 billion lawsuit here. Billions of dollars in Rick and Suds.
You know, that's what sometimes the narrow-minded, the unclear.
We're so vain. Seems they copied something dirty, and what happened wasn't pretty. Guess they haven't any brains. Oh, can you tell me why people used to listen to those guys? They lied and lied and lied and lied some more. And now they're gone, right out the door. So let this be a lesson to all who sit and listen to talk shows that are strange. If you try to fool the people with a bit that's very feeble, then it proves you have no brains. So now that you know better, you can follow to the letter the words of Mr. Kane.
Hi, this is Al Rantel.
And Steve.
This is JR. And
Let us try one more time to tell you about the fabulous on WFTL. Hello. Are you there, Mark? Mark once, Mark twice. Let us go to...
You didn't put him on, did you?
Mark.
Steve.
Yeah.
I'm the original provocateur.
All right.
Called you Monday to report this incident.
Yes.
Necrophiliac hour, remember that? Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question. Have you made your calls to WIOD? We got to save these guys' jobs.
I was just listening to you now. Thank God I happened to turn, because I had a customer, and I turned you back on just to hear, because I'm waiting all week to find out what the real story was.
We are asking you, well, I just told you heard the real story.
Heard the whole thing.
Well, did Nick give us the number? Put up the number for WIOD. We want everybody to call Mike Disney. We want Boy Gary. We want them to deluge. In fact, who's on the air now? What's his name? I keep blocking out his name.
Chuck Myers.
Chuck Meyer. We want to deluge their switchboard. We'll get the call-in number 2. Deluge the switchboard. We want Rick and Suds back. We want to save the Rick and Suds show. We want these guys back because we need this kind of talentless people in the afternoon over there.
Well, I'll give you credit, Steve. I don't know a lot about you, but you did get to the bottom of the thing.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm going to give you. You know, they can only try to cover it up for so long.
And Neil was so tight-lipped, and he wouldn't say nothing. He said, "Oh, it's temporary, no big deal." But
he's a wimp. He's a wimp. He's afraid management will get upset with him. We have none of those fears over here.
He's toothless over there.
But the one thing about all talk show hosts, you know, first of all, they don't like it when you're a butt kisser, okay? And then at the same time, if you say, well, you know, I'm going to go listen to this and listen to that, you know, to find out what the true competition is, then they say, like, you know, they want all their listeners to be straight loyal, like they're running around with an umbilical cord.
Well, you got to be pretty loyal to WIOD to listen to Rick and Suds. But anyway, here's the number. Call it right now, 584-7117, 584-7117. Save Rick and Suds' job. We're going to do it, all right?
Okay, Steve.
All right, take care, guy. Let's go to Paul. You're on WFTL. Hello.
How you doing?
Good, Paul.
I just called Chuck and he hung up on me, dumped it.
He did?
Yep.
Well, Chuck, you know what
did you say, though?
I just asked him if it was true, and about Rick, and he just, oh, that was the end of that.
Oh, yeah, well, they were all scared.
Turned it on real quick, and there was nothing there. So
I got to tell you, Boy Gary's a pretty intimidating guy when he can whip Neil into line like that.
Can you leave me on hold for a minute? I just got out of range, and I want to listen.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Let's put this guy on. Oh, he's on the star line.
It's a good thing we have a bank of phone lines of 50 lines here.
Let's go to Mike. You're on WFTL. Hello, Mike.
Hi, I enjoyed the Rick and Suds show. In fact, I will call WIOD.
Do it. Right now. We want save Rick and Suds no matter how stupid what they did was on the air.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You got it. Okay, boy. You know who that is? You recognize that voice?
Visually impaired Mike?
That's visually impaired Mike. Usually persona non grata, but I I guess the bottom line is how much harm can you do in 5 seconds, right?
That's right.
If you'd like to join us, we just had a couple hang-ups. The lines have been full. Save Rick and Suds. Here is the number, 584-7117. People are deluging our switchboard now. Who missed the story at the top of the hour. Here is the story once again. People at Waxy, they held a cocktail party for their clients to talk about the new format and to meet the new personalities.
Such as they are.
A spy was in their midst who recorded some of the remarks, one of them by one of their new personalities, I think it was the Morning Drive personality, a rather crass racial remark. And all of a sudden, when Rick and Suds found out about the tape, they got their hands on the tape, and they cut it, and they played it, and they joked, and they humiliated Waxy. Humiliated Waxy on the air, made them look stupid and silly, and Waxy was furious. They turned the case over to their attorneys. I do understand there is a massive legal action in process now as Waxy is suing the wonderful Isle of Dreams. They are suing Rick and Suds. They are suing Cox Broadcasting.
Marvin is even involved.
Marvin is also not allowed to go to work.
He's not allowed to go to work. Yeah.
Marvin is also in danger of losing his radio career. And
which would be no great loss, but...
Well, don't say that. Marvin's a nice guy, although once he got hooked up with those idiots, it's kind of catching. I mean, how long can you run around asking people to put whipped cream in their pants before your brain goes soft?
What a great thing to put on your resume, huh?
Really, really.
Whipped cream installer.
But anyway, the Cox sisters, again, look who's here. We have Mr. Budell in studio.
I got a little time on my hands. How about if I, let's say, go to a payphone somewhere, and then you call me, and then maybe I can get somebody to put melted ice cream and whipped cream in their pants, huh?
Oh, man, that would be fabulous. Fabulous. Let's do it. God. You want to stay with us?
Yeah.
I understand you're looking forward to...
because I have to go take a nap.
Go ahead.
I'm desperate to take a nap.
To leading... I know you're looking forward to leading a funeral parade for the demise of Rick and Suds, but we're trying to save these guys' jobs.
Well, I'll be... Oh, and... The pictures!
That's what they look like.
Oh, man.
Do they still look like that?
I think he grows that beard to keep those big cheeks of his from, just blowing into an uncontrollable mess of...
So is that really what they look like?
Well, now that it's springtime, I guess he doesn't have to keep food in there. Why? Yeah, that's what they look like.
Pretty
Rick
exciting.
and Selborn.
Rick and Selborn. Or Selborn and Rick.
Yeah.
Well, what's Rick? Rick Riley. I guess Rick's his name. Selborn and Riley.
Yeah.
Sounds better than Rick and Suds.
I think so. Much more sophisticated.
I wonder why they changed it.
I can't tell you. I don't know.
All right, here's the number. Call WIOD right now, and this is not the on-the-air number. We should get the on-the-air number, too, so we can deluge the switchboard on the air with requests. We want Rick and Suds back. We don't care if they were involved in industrial espionage. We don't care if they're going to cost Cox Broadcasting millions of dollars. We want them back anyway. And the on-the-air number is 584-WIOD. That's the on-the-air number. Chuck Myers on the air now. You're going to get a screener who will try to determine if you want to talk about Rick and Suds. What you got to do is say, no, tell them you want to, Chuck Myers, you want to talk about something intellectual, you want to talk about baseball, you want to just make some up cockamamie story. They'll put you on the air, and then you say to Chuck, Chuck, is it true that you're going to permanently take over the slot? I think the reason Chuck is hanging up on them is I think Chuck fancies himself in that afternoon slot, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to move Goldberg into the afternoons, and Goldberg would be formidable competition. I mean, at least Goldberg is smart. He's articulate.
I have to agree. That would be quite a battle.
There have been rumors circulating in the industry for years, because, Hank, I've had my differences with Hank in the past. But I ran into him at the track. The list goes on. Very nice man.
You know what he did? When I was on Neil's show, and I was right in the middle of the crossfire, Hank came in during the show, and he put his hand on my shoulder and gave me a reassuring pat, and he says, how you doing? He really cared. He was glad to see me, and that really was a nice gesture in the middle of all the mayhem that
Hank, deep down, is, I think, a very decent sort of guy, and a man with a lot of talent, and he's brand new at this, at this business. And for the short time he's been on the air, I think his show is, which I listen to periodically in and out, entertaining. He's articulate. He asks good questions. He hasn't gotten to the point where he asks the hard questions yet, but that'll come.
I send him a little thank you note for that. And
but at least he's got brains. You know what I'm saying?
And he gets great guests. I mean, he's got the best connections I've ever seen.
So and I can tell you this, regardless of what happens with Rick and Suds, once you have WIOD legal problems. You are on Mike Disney's S list.
Well, when it goes off to corporate and they examine the cost versus,
Well, and then again, but you see, this is the tough thing.
I know.
This is the difficult thing. This is the tremendous conflict that corporate must be going through. Because when they look at the massive number of live spots that Rick and Suds do, the incredible income that they bring into that station,
right,
with live spot after live spot after live spot, then they've got to weigh whether they want to really, risk. That $75.80.
The stock will plummet. The stock will plummet. I mean, God.
Oh, God. Anyway, save Rick and Suds. Put the numbers back. We'll continue.
King Paul takes over Cox Broadcasting.
We will continue to announce them. And at 4 o'clock, by the way, as you know, we are going to be bringing attorney Mark Gold in from the Ticket Clinic. Let's talk a little bit about the substance abuse problem in the country today. When you get on with Chuck, say, we demand Rick and Selborne. We want Rick and Selborne back. We will save these rednecks' jobs if it is the last thing that we do. Because these guys, the one thing, you know why it's really important that we save Rick and Suds' jobs?
Tell me, Steve.
Because, let's face it, if they lose this job, I mean, who the hell is going to hire Rick and Suds?
People have forgotten that when they exited from Waxy, I didn't receive any broken bones in the stampede to hire them. It was 6 months, before IOD even had them on to fill in on weekends.
See, now I think I'm making amends, though, to Rick Riley, because, Rick has a temper.
A little bit.
And in the past, I have made some remarks that were quite true about, things involving his personal life and things like this, which were true.
I heard some great stories, too.
And he was going to call him on Candy, was going to punch me out. See, now, right here, Rick. I'm right down here. Come on, here's the chin. Take a swing. Anyway, I think perhaps now after today, I've redeemed myself in his eyes. He will appreciate this effort as we try to get behind him, try to save his job and Mr. Selborne's job so that they don't have to go back out on the beach and lie on the beach all summer and fry their brains, So we want to save Rick and Suds' jobs. Call management, Mike Disney. Call Boy Gary. We want to deluge that. We want to blow out that switchboard, 584-7117. 584-7117. Let's show them the power of light bulb radio. 584-7117. We want Rick and Suds back. And then, of course, that's the office, Mike Disney's office. The number you want to call. You see Chuck Myers saying, hey, I don't understand. People are calling. The phone's lighting up. It must have been something I said. The air number is 524-WIOD. You will have to con your way past the screener, which, given the quality of screening at WIOD, as I remember, it will not be too difficult. Right now, let's talk about Kendall Toyota starting tomorrow night. Big event at Kendall. Let's go to our star line. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Dale. How you doing?
All right.
What's happening?
Not much. I'm calling about,
the scandal?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I just called over there.
Oh, great. Tell him you want Rick and Suds. Save Rick and Suds.
Oh, Steve, this is you. You picked it up cold.
They what?
Is this Steve?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, okay, you picked it straight up. This is Al's brother, Paul.
Oh, hey, Paul. How you doing?
Great. I took your advice. I called over there.
Okay.
And I spoke with somebody in the programming office, some young lady.
Uh-huh.
And evidently, Mike Disney and Gary Bruce are not in the office today.
They're not in the office. They're hiding under the desk.
Oh.
Boy, Gary, shame on you. Get out from under that computer.
By the way, hi, Greg Budell.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
All right.
They're not in the office today, right? Listen, let me tell you something. Not only are they in the office, you people who call in, and the number again is 584-7117, you insist. Tell them you're not going to buy that BS, you're not going to buy that story. You want to know something? I'll tell you this. Because, see, it's a big corporation. You want to know something? Every call that comes in, whether you get through to Disney or not, is recorded.
Oh, really?
So when you call in, you tell the operator, we want... It will go to the Cox sisters. The Cox sisters.
Oh!
The Cox sisters. I'm sorry. The Cox sisters. Oh, my God. I destroyed my headset.
Nick, somebody call Norm.
What?
Somebody call Norm. We're in trouble now.
No, we're not in trouble. It was an accident. The Cox sisters. The Cox sisters.
By the way, Steve, the good part.
Yes.
Chuck Meyer ran in. I guess he was during a break. He ran into the programming office, demanding that the lady, I heard him in the background, demanding that the lady who was on the phone with me get somebody, I guess either Boy Gary or Mike Disney, on the hotline immediately because people are calling and calling and calling about this scandal.
Well, of course, because these are our listeners. They're out there responding.
Oh, man.
All right.
He was losing his mind.
Take care.
Hey, you too.
Bye-bye. Well, I've been in radio for a long time.
I almost watched a great career end.
Oh, God, I can't believe the Cox sisters. The Cox sisters.
Will you stop saying
Well,
that?
it's close.
You're going to do it again.
No, I'm not. Meanwhile,
Although it is true.
my headset blew out here. I'm not getting anything in my headset. What is it?
I have no idea, Steve. Partly cloudy today. A 30% chance of an evening thunder shower in South
My
Florida.
headsets literally are not working. I can't believe this. It's incredible.
It reminds me of the morning I had
Hold on
Norman
one
hit
second.
the
I want to get my other headset. See if it happens.
What a beautiful day it is in South Florida. We're looking for an evening thunder shower perhaps in your area. You may see some heavy lightning, some strong winds with that, maybe a little hail, because we are back in the rainy season.
Now, what did they do? Look what they did to my headset.
And looking for highs around 90 degrees right through Sunday afternoon. Look for this pattern to continue into next week. The rainy season has arrived, South Florida, and you should protect yourself with good roofing.
Oh, that's better with my headset, because now this headset works.
Well, you better turn those broken ones over to engineering.
You know who I feel like? Uncle Don.
Uncle Don?
Uncle Don. Don't you remember Uncle Don?
No.
Oh, yeah. Uncle Don was on the airwaves.
I didn't have a deprived childhood.
He was on the airwaves one day, and he thought he was off the air, and he said something he shouldn't have said. It was a big scandal. Didn't you? It was a kiddie program. Good night, little friends. Good night. Now tune in again tomorrow at the same time, when I'll be back with all my little friends.
That ought to hold a little, right? Isn't that what he said? Something that's on a blooper tape.
But isn't it interesting, because in those days, that what he said was considered
scandalous.
Time out, folks. What? What?
Why is it whenever I join somebody's show, I ruin it? What am I doing?
What Uncle Don said today, you could say on the air, it wouldn't be a big thing.
That ought to hold the little bastards, right?
That's what he said. I guess I don't hold the little bastards for tonight. And there was a massive outcry. But it just goes to show you how times have changed. The Cox sisters.
Yes. Gee. Lasts all day.
See, now that's
anyway, you got a whole board full of calls.
Oh, yes. Boy, do we ever. Let's go to the Star Line. Let's go to Dale. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Yes, Steve.
Yes.
Let me pick it up. Hang on.
Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. How you doing?
I needed my hands to shift.
Yes, okay.
What is the controversy? I tuned in late.
Oh, everybody's tuning in late. Well, the controversy is that Rick and Suds have been suspended for playing material obtained at a cocktail party, a waxy cocktail party, where they were explaining the new format to the listeners.
To the advertisers.
To the advertisers. To whoever the hell they were.
To the select invitees. Right. You know, it was one of those phony...
And they got some embarrassing quotes, and Rick and Suds got their hand on the tape, and of course not realizing that it would be legally actionable, they played it on the air and ridiculed it and made Waxy, opened up Waxy to scorn and to derision and to humiliation and to all kinds of damages. And Waxy, of course, being a company that is not going to be slighted and not going to be insulted, Waxy is taking action against them. Multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Okay, I was just curious.
Okay.
All right,
cool, huh?
Take care.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Let's go to Alan. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Hello there, guys.
How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hey, you two are in therapy, huh? That makes the three of us.
Is that a fact?
In fact, that's where I'm heading shortly, but I thought I'd call you first.
This sounds like a familiar voice.
Yeah, we've talked before. You've hung up on me before.
Oh, I know you, yeah.
Is he a cretin?
I got my therapy tomorrow morning.
We had 5 stations in town. It was wonderful.
9:30 with Dr. Samick.
Gotcha. Anyway, when are you guys going to be down here? When are you going to simulcast down south?
Yeah, when, Steve?
I would say this, and I don't like to exaggerate on this. I would say we are about an eighth of an inch away from a deal with a Dade County radio station.
We'll still be able to call.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, are you kidding?
Good, good.
Of course.
No, I listened to Gary's competition for the last 2 nights. I'm walking. That's part of my thing.
Well, who is Gary's competition? You're not talking about Joe Zagacki, are you?
In the Cubs one today.
Goldberg at night.
Oh, Goldberg. Hank's not bad.
We respect
him. Oh,
Hank.
here's the problem. And he had Tornello on, okay?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, Tornello might as well have paid for the show. That's the problem. And the other night he had the editor of the Miami Herald on.
And that guy might as well have paid for the show.
Well,
I had Sharon Navarro on for free yesterday.
Pardon me?
I had Sharon Navarro on for free.
I mean, the only thing, but you got to understand, that's going to come. That'll come. You know, Hank, he is a hard. He can be a hard question. He's very bright. He's very aggressive, and can be pugnacious. And that's going to come with time. I mean, basically, he's feeling his way, and he's learning the ropes.
I mean, you guys.
And I have a feeling before too long, he's going to be learning them in afternoon drive.
Well, the show's like I've heard in the past, no competition.
But you got to say this: it beats Rick and Suds, right?
I don't know who they are. I don't want to know who they are.
Well, good.
One last thing.
Yes.
You know, you guys do the same thing now and then. It's like when you have those so-called paid commercials for an hour.
Well, it's not supposed to be that way.
I know. Take care, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's go to Chuck. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Oh, I am. Hello.
Yes. Where are all our women today? Hello.
Well, I think the women like Rick and Suds. That's probably the problem.
Oh, come on. There isn't a woman in the world that with any self-respect that would listen to that show.
No, don't say that.
Oh, come on. There was
Haven't you
don't have to like what we're going to say, but Steve Kane is not an attractive man compared to either Rick or Suds.
Oh, right, sure, right. Unfortunately, sir, I have a picture here in front of me, so...
I bet you do, and I can imagine where your hand is, but that's besides...
Yeah, you want to know where my hand is? It's on the button, sir, your history. Let's go to Steve. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Steve.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, one thing you need to remember. The numbers, man, the numbers. You can't compete. There's no sense in going down.
Absolutely. There's no question of that. The numbers, if you take a look at the bottom line of the number of advertisers we have and the number of the amount of money we're generating. Oh, yes. Because that's what this business is about, sir. Advertisers and money and revenue. How many? Let me ask you this. Give me the number. Give me the number, you dumb yo-yo, of the live spots that Rick and Suds do.
Hey,
what, one every week? Get off that phone, you miserable cretin. The number. I'll give him numbers. As a matter of fact, I do believe... I see now I'm being cruel, because I do remember that the week before they were taken off the air, they did a live spot. I remember that. They
For
did
a thing that grows your hair back.
They did one that grows hair in your palms. They did one... They did one spot that week, and I got to tell you, it was like people were running around WIOD. Did you hear Rick and Suds had a live spot? They had a live spot. It's like everyone was so excited. They finally did a live spot. I'll give you numbers, sir. Let's go to Jim. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Not much.
Oh, man. I turned down the WIOD, right?
Yeah.
People are calling in. Apparently somebody called up and they cut him off, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he says, we're on to that sabotage from that other light bulb.
Oh,
from the light bulb. Ooh.
Of course they're onto it, because Gary Bruce listens to this show every day. He told me that in the men's room at Bert and Jack. I swear to God. He says, hey, you're doing great. I said, you listen, Gary? He says, I listen all the time.
Hey. He says, we're on the sabotage,
Right.
Must be caught up there, man.
Right. Well, let's put it to you this way. At least I haven't caused them a multi-million-dollar lawsuit recently.
Oh, no problem. I hear that. All right, we'll catch you later, guys.
Hey, take care.
Rubber
Bye-bye.
baby buggy buttloads to you, sir.
Let's go to John. You're on WFTL. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good to hear you. Listen, I was listening to the other station.
Yeah.
And there's these guys keep calling in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a couple guys keep calling over and over, and they finally finally figured out they were the same guys, so they cut them off before they even get a chance.
Oh, you know what? So we need new guys. We need we need women to call in. I want women to call. WIOD, the on-the-air number is 524-WIOD, demanding the return of Rick and Suds.
You're a faker.
Say Steve Kane wants Rick and Suds back.
You're a faker, you piece of crap.
Oh, that's clever, sir. Is that the best you could give? Give it another shot, sir. Go ahead, drool into the phone again, you mouth-breathing moron. Pete, you're on WFTL. Hello.
You're not on delay.
What?
Not on delay.
Believe me, we're on delay. Go ahead.
You think so?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Greg.
Yes, sir.
Turn your radio off and back, sir. We're on such delay I can hear you in the back.
I'll have it on.
Go ahead.
Don't hurt
Neil's show, Greg. I think the best call you got was from Mindy.
Huh?
When Mindy called in.
Mindy Frumkus?
Mindy Lang.
Oh, Mindy Lang.
Right.
Yeah, what about it?
I'm saying that was a good thing. Like you said, Hank gave you a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Well, Mindy also...
No, I had some nice calls that day. There were some good people that got through.
Right. And Rick and Suds came in to congratulate you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
don't think for a minute that I went over there expecting to be, showered with flowers.
No, I guess not.
But at least I got to, after 4 years of getting hammered every day, got to at least give my side of the story.
What's that number again?
All right, the number to call Mike Disney is 584-7117. The number to call on the air, and you got to con your way past the screener. Bear that in mind. Don't tell them you're there to speak up for Rick and Suds. You got to tell them you want to talk about pickup trucks, and then they'll figure you're a Rick and Suds fan. 524-WIOD. You got it?
Got it.
All right, let's take a short break. We'll be back. Steve Kane on WFTL.
Hi, it's Greg.
Oh, hi.
Because they follow Neil Rogers, and they're on a station with a strong signal throughout Dayton Broward.
Oh, no, I understand that. I understand.
Well, then why do you ask? Let's put it to you this way. I'll let you answer the question. If you dropped Rick and Suds into the middle of a 1,000-watt station that just covered Broward County in the middle of big band music, what do you think they would be able to do with that station in 7 months?
Same as your rating.
Sure, right.
Same as yours. What was yours?
Do you want to know something? The station would be dark.
Oh, no, I don't understand. I don't think they're talented at all. Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
I don't think they're talented at all.
Well, you got that right.
No, and
No, they wouldn't have the same reasons. They wouldn't have a rate. They'd have minus infinity.
Yeah,
is what they'd have.
When you were following Neil, and for some reason, look, I think you're much more talented than they are, whether it's controversy or not. But I don't understand why their ratings are so high with that. I don't know why people.
They're not. Excuse me, they're not. Their ratings are no higher than mine were when I followed Neil.
Neil was on a tangent there saying they got a 6.6.
Well, you're not. But excuse me, you're not going to believe everything Neil says, are you?
Half of it.
Half. That's about right. That's a fair percentage.
All right, that's all I want to know. I can't understand why they get those ratings. I understand the Dave market stuff.
Also stick around for another year. The book traditionally is anywhere from 6 to 8 months behind what's actually happening. When I moved from WNWS to WIOD, the move did not show up for between 6 and 7 months. Not more than a couple, 6 or 7.
Yeah,
until then, Stan Major was getting monster ratings following Neil, and Stan has almost as little talent as Rick and Suds.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you.
It's a real close contest.
Oh, but I agree with you also on your ratings that you got Broward County, and if you got a percentage of what you're getting just for Broward, well, you're not doing too bad.
We're doing great. And besides, again, bear in mind, the only number that counts is the bottom line number of how much revenue you bring in.
Well, there's no question that you've done a great job with that. I mean,
Lou, a pleasure. Nice speaking to you. Let's go to Jerry. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. We haven't had one woman today. Where are all the women, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm Jerry. Oh, no, I just want to...
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now ask me if I want to. Go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, no, I just thought that Rick and Suds had a gay show.
A gay show?
I mean...
Well, that comes as nude... Boy, I'm not speaking too clearly today. It comes as news to me.
I mean, that's the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
That load back at you and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I suppose that may be gay talk. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the lingo. I suspect it's much more trucker redneck talk.
Yeah, you got that right, sir.
All right.
But you're much better than they are.
Well, I appreciate that very much. You have filled me with confidence. I will continue in my career, all right?
Thank you. We listen to you.
Thanks for calling, guy. Let's go to Randy. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Yeah, get in that quick, huh?
Yeah, how you doing, Randy?
Okay. Not many calls on the board, huh?
No, not too many. I have to resort to talking to half-wits like you.
Is your whole show about 6:10?
Is my whole show about 6:10? No, we just did an hour on them because it was fun.
I haven't listened to you in months. I turned on today for the first time.
Oh, right. I believe that. Tell me another one. Randy.
If I told you another one, you'd dump it too quick.
Yeah, you know that. Is that it? Is that the best? Is this the max of your intellect here that we've experienced?
Let me say this.
No, go ahead.
The ego's gotten bigger since IoT.
Absolutely, sir. Along with the paycheck.
Well, that's fine. The paycheck's fine.
Well, I'm glad you approve.
You're definitely talented, but you should have your own show.
Go ahead. You see, they're bad when you got to explain them. Go ahead, explain it. Somehow that went over everyone's head.
Well, the IOD format shouldn't have to do anything to,
Oh, come on now. Come on. You listen to Neil Rogers?
Of course.
In the days before he lost his testicles, Neil used to spend 3/4 of his show bashing me and any and everyone else that he could.
And you used to bash him back?
Absolutely. But I didn't hear you complaining about that.
No, I used to listen then, but now Neil won't say a word about it.
Absolutely. And do you know why? Take a guess.
I think because you're getting boring like Stan did.
Well, that's a bad guess.
I know, and I think you guys, I don't know, but you're not
But
really...
even if it were true, it wouldn't be half as boring as this call. Let's go to Paul. You're on WFTL. Hello.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Paul.
Listen, why does everybody hate you?
Why? Because I'm hateable, because I'm detestable, that's why, and they're jealous. Any other questions, Paul?
No, that's it.
All right. Jay, you're on WFTL. Hello.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I don't want to be repetitive or anything, but...
But you will be, right?
I'm sure I will be. I've been listening to IOD all week. I always listen to Neil, and I switch between you and Rick and Suds. I got to admit that. But they've refused to talk about why they're off the air.
Of course they have, because they're involved in litigation, because they are costing potentially the Cox sisters millions of dollars, potentially.
I know you must have been through it a million times already. Could you just explain exactly what happened again?
All right, I'll go through it one more time. Waxy gave a cocktail party to tell sponsors about the new format. A Rick and Suds fan went into the disguised, or undercover, went into the party and recorded remarks made by some of their personalities.
Oh, no.
Gave the tape to Rick and Suds. Rick and Suds played it on the air, humiliating Waxy. And from what I understand, and I'm not going to name personalities, and I'm not going to quote the remark because this part is secondhand. But I do understand that one of their bright new personalities made what amounted to a racial remark. I believe that's true, and I'm not going to name the personality of the remark because I don't have that verified. But in other words, what they did was use the tape on the air to humiliate Waxy in the eyes of the public and in the eyes of the sponsors, therefore causing incredible damage to Waxy. Waxy is launching a lawsuit against them, as they well should. Wow. And Rick and Suds, who put their foot in their mouth, potentially could cost the Cox sisters millions of dollars.
Well, if anyone's got millions, they probably do.
Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean they want to waste it on Rick and Suds.
Let me ask you two real quick questions, and I'll let you go.
Sure.
First off, why do you think Neil refuses to talk about you anymore?
Well, that's very, very simple, because he understands that our station is going to be a major threat to him, and he doesn't want people to know we're here. I've been in this market for 8 years. In all of that time, Neil Rogers has been told by management, don't talk about this one, don't talk about that one. His best act is when he's attacking other people. It's when he's at his strongest. It's when he's at his funniest, and he knows it. But he is so intimidated by the potential of what we will do when we are in Dade County, and we are going to be in Dade County probably by September 1st, that he is in fear, and he doesn't want people to know we're here. It is that simple.
Last question?
Yeah.
Any chance of Gilbert coming to FTL?
None.
Good.
But there is a good chance, and rumor has it, that Gilbert is under consideration for replacing Rick and Suds in afternoon drive at WIOD.
That'd be pretty humorous.
Well, it would be a step up, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, we thank you for your call.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, we are going to take a short break here. Attorney Mark Gold is in studio. We are sort of waiting the arrival of the police to arrest him. No, not to arrest him, of course. They're not going to arrest him, but they are going to keep him honest. They are going to take some of the